Welcome back to the Red Dice Diaries, and this is a video response to Meta Rockwell or Adventure Story Games video about the 3 questions he's asking to the RPG community, and I'll put a link to that down below. The first question he asks is, how do you see yourself as a gamer? Well, first and foremost, I see myself more as a GM than a player, and that's simply because I've probably GM'd more games than I've played over the years. I'd consider myself an often frustrated gamer, since I put in a great deal of effort myself to fit real life, job, family, etc. around RPGs. I think as a hobby it's very worthwhile, and it's worth the time and effort to juggle things around to make sure I can still role play whilst doing all the other important and necessary things that you have to do in life. But I often find myself frustrated when people can't commit to a hobby to the same level that I can. Now this is probably more of a flaw for myself rather than other people, but it can be a little frustrating. However, I like to think that I'm fairly considerate of other people's gaming styles. I don't like to think that I'm the sort of gamer who puts themselves on a pedestal above other people, and I like to think that in sessions I attempt to help out other people and get them involved in the game as much as I can. Since, to segue slightly into question 2, which is, what does RPGing or role-playing mean to you? Role-playing has always meant to me a collaborative effort, a creating of a group fiction. It's basically getting people together and making something that's more than the sum of its parts. It's, although the GM sort of oversees a game and sort of adjudicates it to a certain extent, I don't think that means they have to be placed again on a pedestal above the players. I think the GM brings people together and just starts the ball rolling in this collaborative effort, pulling ideas and encouraging people to submit their ideas and to get involved, to invest in an RPG, throwing all these ideas and thoughts into this big melting pot, out of which, if you're lucky, comes something which is far, far greater than the individual ideas and thoughts that have been put in. To move on to question 3, which is, why do you game and what is the purpose of your gaming? I've already sort of answered that a little bit, but I game because I gain great enjoyment in being surprised by the turn of events and by how people roleplay their characters, and generally when unexpected things happen in games. As someone who GMs more, if everything went according to a script that I had prepared 100%, it would not be very interesting for me. And I've been in games that have been heavily scripted, and that's absolutely fine. I don't mind that. However, as a GM, I really, really love it when the players do something unexpected, or when they take the plot down an unexpected route. And I know some people don't like that, but for me, that's when the fun really starts, because I have to think on my feet a little bit, and I normally get the players involved in what's going on. I ask for their input so they feel more invested in the setting. They're willing to sell for the setting more. They're more willing to get involved. And for me, it's gone off track a little bit, forcing me to be a little bit more spontaneous, to think a little bit more on my feet, to be a bit more imaginative, which I feel can only improve my skills as a GM. As for the purpose of my gaming, as I've said earlier on in this video, the purpose for me is to just bring a group of people together to try and create something between you all that, without trying to sound like I'm glorifying the hobby too much, something which I generally believe can be quite wonderful and quite magical, created by a group of people. And it may be a group of people that barely even know each other, and sometimes yet groups don't work, they don't come together properly, they don't. But when it does, those rare occasions when you get a group that gels perfectly together. You've got a great storyline, some good characters, a GM who's getting everyone involved. When it does work, it really can create something that's quite fantastic, that it is more than just a casual activity. And I don't say that to demean anyone who plays RPGs casually. That's fine, whatever you enjoy, but when it does come together, it can really make something that I feel is truly wonderful. And it's for those moments that I think that I actually still keep on gaming after all these years. There may be few and far between, but I feel that the more you put yourself out there, the more games you play in, the more you improve your own role-playing style, the more you try and bring other people in, the more you try and help other people, the more likelihood there is that you're going to have these moments. And once you've had a few of them, you want to have these amazing role-playing moments again and again. So that's the purpose of gaming, and that's why I still keep on gaming after all these years. I hope that's answered your question. Adventure Story Games. As I said, I'll put a link to the original video down below, as well as Tim Harper's response that clued me in on this. Thanks very much, Tim. I hope you've all enjoyed this video response, and that you'll click on like and subscribe. We put out new videos every week. Until I see you next time, thank you very much for watching.